Oh, what is going on, Jig Fishing Nation? My name's Hunter Suchland with LS Lures, and we are back with another Tackle Talk Tuesday, guys. And in today's video, we're going to be going over something that I get a lot of questions about. I think a lot of folks have a lot of questions about, and something that I feel like is just a little misunderstood. It's considered old school. A lot of folks don't really use it or don't know when to use it, and that is going to be living rubber jigs, okay? Living rubber is an awesome tool. It gets a ton of bites, and if you know how to use it, when to use it, and why to use it, you're going to catch more and bigger fish, you're going to have a blast, and you're going to get a lot more confidence with a jig. So in today's video, we're going to be breaking down what is living rubber, when you should use living rubber, and why living rubber is so dang good there, guys. We're going to touch on everything. We're going to go over it. We're going to get you guys a better understanding, and I can't thank you all enough for being here, guys. I absolutely love these Tackle Talk Tuesday videos. They've been going super well, and if you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe. Check out the other ones on our channel so you too can get better with the jig, grow that confidence, catch a lot more fish on it here in 2026. And without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and dive into it. All right, diving straight into things, guys. Before we talk about, where you're gonna throw this, why you should throw this, I think it's really important to break down what exactly living rubber is. And for those of you who didn't pick up on it in the name, it's rubber, okay? It looks a little bit different than your standard skirting material, but it is an absolute beauty. It's been around for a really long time, and there's just not a lot of folks that really truly understand what it is, all right? I feel like a lot of folks throw around the word, oh, living rubber this, and there's a lot of questions I get from folks that really don't understand exactly what it is and what the benefits are of it. So before we can understand when to throw it and whatnot, it's time to talk about what it is and what exactly it does to a jig, right? 90% of what you guys are going to see in stores, what you guys are going to see online, and probably some of you, 100% of what's in your tackle box, guys, is going to be silicone skirted jigs. Okay, this is the industry standard. This is what most guys are going to use, and for good reason. It's absolutely amazing. It's what 90% of our jigs are as well, too. But what silicone is and what silicone does is, it's available in a lot of different color options. It's very durable. It's very heat resistant and stuff like that, guys. But it also sinks, all right? So with the silicone skirt material, that jig has to keep moving to keep imparting action into that skirt, okay? So when it hits the bottom and that skirt flares out, it's gonna flare for a little bit and then slowly sink down and come to its final resting place, okay? So until that jig moves again, that skirt material is just gonna sit there, all right? It's not gonna do anything crazy. It's not gonna be flowing around. It's just gonna sit there. So unless you're in current or you got a bunch of waves beating into where that jig's sitting and there's some, some churnage going on in that water, that jig skirt's not moving. And is that always bad? No. Is it always good? Definitely not, okay? I feel like you lose a lot of bites when you're dead sticking because that skirt stops moving and the fish lose interest, okay? It kind of just defeats the purpose of that jig. So in order to keep that silicone moving, the jig has to keep moving. On the contrary, getting into the living rubber side of things, living rubber floats, and that's what makes this so spectacular, guys, is because I don't have to do anything to get that jig to have insane action and to keep it very subtly flowing on the bottom there, guys. So when this jig comes to rest and it hits the bottom, with the silicone jig, like I said, it's gonna bloom out, it's gonna do its thing, and it's gonna sit down to the sides, it's gonna stop moving. That living rubber is going to sit there, it's going to be expanded out everywhere, and it's gonna be floating up and just all moving very slowly, okay? It's not waving around, it's not doing anything crazy, but it's got a very unique action. It looks very different than silicone because where silicone is flowing with the water, living rubber is always trying to float up, okay? So it's got a very different action underwater. It looks completely different, and it gives your jig a lot of very unique action with absolutely little motion there, guys. Living rubber is extremely durable too, guys. It's very stretchy. It does a very good job staying on that jig, not getting too beat up there, guys. It doesn't have quite the same heat resistance, and it might not last quite as long as silicone, guys, so be mindful of that when you are fishing these. Don't try and fry them in the sun. Try and keep them a little bit cooler or more protected from the elements if you can, because again, it's not silicone, it's rubber. It doesn't last as well and stuff like that, but as long as you guys take care of these, they're gonna take care of you, okay? Alrighty, jumping into the next part, guys, we've kind of got a better understanding of what exactly living rubber is, all right? It's a rubber material. It's just like your silicone, except it floats. floats. It's gonna have a very natural, subtle action to it. It's gonna make your jig look a lot different under the water there. So now that we kind of understand what it is, why guys throw it, what it looks like under the water there, boys, it's time to talk about when to throw this, okay? And the first thing I'm gonna say is that every video you watch on the internet talking about any kind of living rubber jig, okay, we've got two of them. We've got our big mop jigs and we've got our arc jigs there. So be sure to check those out on our website. But every video you guys see online is going to tell you you can only throw a living rubber jig is only really good when it gets really cold, okay? And they're gonna say that, you know, that subtle motion's really good when you're not moving that jig a whole lot, and it really shines in the cold water just because it floats and it has more action and stuff like that. And that's 100% true, all right? But I'm not here to just tell you that, okay, guys? I've played around with living rubber all year round, you know, from the coldest months in the spring all the way through the summer, spring, fall, winter, and I can't say enough about this material, guys. Like I said, if you take care of this and you make sure you don't absolutely fry that jig out, you know, leaving your box in 150-degree heat and whatnot there, guys, you can catch fish on this all year round, and it absolutely excels, guys, when the water's cold, because it's gonna have that subtle motion, all right? When the water's really cold, you don't wanna move that jig a whole lot. You're not sitting there stroking or doing anything crazy. It absolutely shines. So everybody in the videos talking about living rubber in cold water is right. It also shines the rest of the year when you're fishing places that get a lot more beat up, because like I said, 90% of anglers are just rocking silicone all year, okay? That's got its own action, it works fine, but that living rubber adds a whole new element. It looks a lot different, and it gives that jig a whole different presentation, guys. So if you're fishing around beat up fish, if you're fishing, you know, a community rock pile or some stuff like that there, guys, where it's getting a lot of pressure and you just want to show them something different, living rubber is an absolutely great way to show those fish something different there. So it's really great on pressured fisheries as well. And last but not least, it's great for getting absolutely huge bites because it gives that jig a lot more bulk, okay? You know, where silicone, it hits the bottom and all starts to sink down. If I throw a big old mop jig that, you know, 3/4 of it's living rubber and it's all standing up, it makes that jig look huge. It makes it look like a lot bigger meal, a lot easier, kind of clunkier meal there, guys. And it gets a ton of huge bites. I mean, if you look at the amount of Elite Series guys down on your Lake Forks and some of those big bass producers down south, a lot of them are throwing big living rubber jigs because they absolutely get huge bites. They're a lot bigger profile and they really excel. So if you guys are kind of wondering, you know, when should I throw a living rubber jig? Throw it whenever you want, okay? Chuck it when the water's cold and you're looking for that nice subtle action or not moving that jig. Chuck it when those fish are beat up or you want to show them something a little bit different there, guys. And chuck it when you're looking for a big bite, because these things just look different underwater. They've got a different action and they've got a lot more bulk because of that material floating, okay, guys? So I was gonna do a third segment in this video talking about, you know, why this is so effective, but I think we kind of covered that in the when to throw it. You know, we talked about in cold water, it's got that really good subtle action. We talked about, you know, a lot of guys aren't throwing this, you know. I'm sure there's a bunch of you that have thrown it, and I'm sure there's a lot of you that have never tossed living rubber, and that's why you're watching this, right? So there's a lot of guys out there, there's a lot of folks that I know that don't chuck living rubber, they don't mix it in a whole lot, and that's why it's so dang effective, is because when you look on the shelves at the stores and you look online, there's just not as many living rubber jigs out there, and there's not nearly the percentage of anglers that throw them as guys that are just gluing that silicone skirt in, guys. So if you're looking to get more bites, and you're looking to mix in that living rubber a lot more, guys, check out what we've got on our website. We make two different variations here. One is our LS Lures mop jig. Okay, it's called a mop because it's big and it absolutely cleans them up, all right? Ours are a little bit unique. We mix silicone in two. One thing that you guys are gonna notice in most living rubber jigs is that living rubber, you're not able to give it all the cool fancy schmancy colors that you can with the silicone. You know, you're gonna get flat greens, flat browns, flat blacks, flat purples. And so we mix in some silicone, and the way that we layer it, our living rubber is layered underneath of that silicone. So when it pushes out, that living rubber stands up, it gives more flair to the silicone, and it makes that jig look a lot better in my opinion there, guys. But that mop jig, it's available in a football style head from 3/8 of an ounce, you know, all the way up to an ounce. It really excels around rock piles, dragging some different staging areas and whatnot, guys, and it shows those fish a really big bulky profile they're not used to seeing. We've won a ton of money on this jig. We top 10 at a college Bassmaster National Championship on this bait. Like, we have caught a ton of fish and a ton of big fish on this mop jig here, guys. So be sure to check those out on the website. We got a couple different colors on them and they absolutely freaking rock. The other option we've got, guys, is going to be kind of a special jig and one that I'm very fond of. It's one that you don't see a whole lot, but it is our Midwest flipping head with a double wire guard instead of a brush guard, and we call it our arc jig. So it's a great head style, and it's got a very unique brush guard on it that's fully adjustable there, guys. I'm from the great wastelands of Nebraska. You know, we don't have a whole lot out here, but what we do have is a lot of opportunities to junk fish where you can go down one bank and throw out some rock, throw out a clump of grass, throw out some light wood, flip a dock. Like, there's a lot of different little things going on, guys, and there's a lot of that all over the country. So this jig really excels for fishing around lighter cover, wood rock docks, open areas, stuff like that, grass lines, and that wire guard's fully adjustable there too. So A, it's harder to see, it's not as big and bulky as this typical brush guard is that you guys are gonna see on the jigs. And B, I can fold this down and keep it just above the hook there, so it's a super easy hookup ratio. I can fold this up a little bit, make it a little bit tougher, give it more resistance so it comes through that cover well, guys. But once again, it's that living rubber silicone hybrid skirt there, so it's going to hit the bottom, it's going to have a ton of action, and it's got a little bit more color there to it, guys. But we catch a lot of fish on both of these. Both of these are linked on the website below, guys. And that is going to be all for today's segment on living rubber. It's not a huge secret. It's been around forever. There's just not a lot of guys that really talk about it, really give the whys and the how-tos and the wheres and stuff like that, guys. And really, the answer is there's no secrets. You can throw it all year round, and it gets a ton of bites because most dudes aren't throwing it. So if you're looking for something a little bit different, if you want to catch more bass in cold water, if you want to catch them when the bite's tough, and you want to catch more big ones pretty much all year round, mixing some living rubber, check it out. Let me know what you think. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you guys sometime soon on the next Tackle Talk Tuesday.